Welcome. You're watching VGM Presents Comics with Mark, and I am your host, Mark Rodriguez. We got lots of comic book news here and there. I'm just going to throw it out there real quickly, get out of the way. We got the second season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that just started out. It's pretty cool. We got the new show Gotham, which is about Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Bullock teaming up to stop these bad guys that would eventually become the famous Arkham bad guys. Because at this point of their lives, Bruce Wayne is still a child that just recently lost his parents. So this is way before Batman ever existed. So it's I guess it's kind of cool to see all these characters back in the day. And we got the Arrow's got another season, Green Arrow, his show. The Flash has his own show now. It's the same Flash that was in a couple episodes of Arrow. So yeah, it's like the same continuity, same universe. I assume in the future Green Arrow or his enemies are going to cameo in the Flash series too. And as for the comic books themselves, the next big Marvel event is going to be called Axis, with the Red Skull and some other bad guys teaming up to use, I guess he got Professor Xavier's mind and body somehow after he was killed or something. So they're using his mind to instill hatred into the minds of everyone in the world. So it's going to be hating each other and killing each other and all that stuff. And it's up to the X-Men and the Avengers to team up to stop him, because this is mostly an Avengers and X-Men crossover. But I do assume that something this big, this major, is going to bring in a couple of the heroes that aren't necessarily members of X-Men or Avengers. And I see what happens with Axis as the heroes literally try to stop the hate and spread the love and everything. And as for something that's not DC or Marvel related, there's the upcoming Turtles and crossover with, I said that wrong, but the Turtles crossing over with the Ghostbusters, because yes, IDW comic books, they make both the Turtles and Ghostbusters, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was because maybe, I guess the story just finished, or lack of sales or whatever, but the Ghostbusters comic books are done. They're either ended or canceled, but for one last hurrah, we're going to have a crossover comic book of Turtles and Ghostbusters, and let's see what happens, right? So anyways, guys, now we're going to start with the comic book I'm going to talk about. And I did buy a lot of comic books because I did fell behind. It was a big old stack, but nothing got my interest more than Death of Wolverine #2. And if you guys seen the last episode, this 4-part series is about how Wolverine has lost his healing factors. Now he can actually die by getting shot or stabbed or whatever, unless he gets medical attention, like any one of us, basically. And well, we now found out that Viper has sent out basically anyone that's ever hated Wolverine, or any sick bastard who just wants to collect a quick buck, to go out and capture him. There's a big bounty on his head, and the longer it takes to bring him, the more the bounty drops. Everyone's going to be rush after him. And Wolverine, being Wolverine, despite the fact that he knows he can die now, is still like, bring it on. So let's see what happens in part 2 of the Death of Wolverine. So our comic begins in Madripoor in Lowtown. There's this guy walking around this club here looking for someone in particular, and the bartender leads him in the right direction, and he comes across this guy. Whoever he is, I assume he's like some big badass crime boss, all taped up and lots of hot babes around him and everything, and I just noticed his wrists are kind of taped up, so it might be Wolverine in disguise, but we'll see. My name is Koro, and you seek the Emerald Queen, a woman whom most in magic are avoid at all costs. You play a dangerous game, sir. Ain't a game, this is business, so we've heard. Apparently you have something to sell, and you think Viper will buy. Uh-huh. I've been waiting around this damn town for weeks. Now, it's hard not to have a good time in Madripoor, God knows, but if Viper's not interested, I'll just have to move on, and you can explain why she missed out on the item in question, Koro. I hear Mystique's running Madripoor these days. That's why I came to Viper first. Figure she's trying to move up, a motivated buyer, but I'm sure Mystique would love to get her hands on this too. You have it with you? You are a brave man, my friend. Been called worse. Someone wants to take it, they're welcome to try. Can I see it? Sure. Holy crap, it's Iron Man's helmet, or at least one of Iron Man's helmets, because of course he's got like a whole bunch of them. Gods, that's a Mark 9. The only version is more recent than this, live in Tony Stark's head. But may I? Knock yourself out. This is incredible. The tactical advantage something like this would grant. What is your price? No offense, Coral, but I didn't come here to deal with an underling. If Viper wants this, she'll have to deal with me in person. You may come to regret your insistence, but very well, I will take you to the lady. So the story goes to Hightown as Coral takes this stranger with Iron Man's helmet directly to Viper herself, and Viper's protected by these Mortal Kombat ninjas, because I'm sorry, they just look exactly like old school Mortal Kombat ninjas. And, well, Viper already knows who he is. He's right through his disguise. And so, the Mortal Kombat ninjas all come around Wolverine and attack him, start fighting and everything, and Wolverine, I'm just going to flat out say Wolverine, you can already tell it's him with the taped up wrists and everything, and he starts kicking ass and impaling them with their own harpoons and knives and everything, and then Viper just asks where he get the helmets. Stark owed me one. Hell, at this point, any guy out there doesn't owe me their life, or want me dead, both sometimes, except you, Viper. Word is, you put out a contract on me, not to kill. You wanted me alive. You miss me, I get that, but there are easier ways. Don't flatter yourself. People are dying. Tell me why I'm here, now. You're here because I'm the best there is at what I do, Logan. Now, what I do isn't very nice, of course. Ripping off the tagline, bitch. I know killers, and I run killers. A client came to me. He was new, but he was willing to pay so much. A ridiculous amount, even for a target like you. He hired me, and then I subcontracted. Put the word out. No more than that. He's keeping me busy. Quite a little project he's got going. Hijacked airliners, kidnappings, robbing museums. He wanted a statue of the Hulk, if you can believe that. Enough screwing around, Viper. Who's the client? Easy, lover, I'll tell you. You just have to earn it. Beat my dog, and I'll tell you everything. And her pet dog is Sabretooth, which is all chained up now, like her pet dog, I guess. And I don't know how Sabretooth is. He's not going to like that, so I wonder what's going to happen if he ever gets free. I believe you also have a history. Nothing but. Creed, how'd she get you? I screwed up, got myself pinched. She came, brought me out of prison. After that, about what you'd expect. She did her Viper thing. He's a good dog. He gets an antidote each day. He's a bad dog. He dies. It's been fun. A nice display of strength for the mouth breathers around here. My pet's monster. And now I think I found a better game. I want someone to die. Here. Right now. I don't care which. The one who gets to live gets what they want. Go. And then we get this random splash page of Wolverine that somehow magically gets his, famous yellow and blue X-Men outfit on, fighting against Sabretooth. And, yeah, imagery of him just jamming his claws right through his neck. Yeah, I forgot. Sabretooth can heal, too. And, well, I guess those are memories. Back in real world now, ow, Wolverine gets slashed across the eye, which, of course, now we know he can't grow that back. He grabs Iron Man's helmet, throws it at him, and Sabretooth catches it and it blows up in his face. And as Sabretooth is about to finish off Wolverine, Lady Deathstrike just comes out of nowhere and slams him down and stabs the crap out of him. Wolverine stops him and reminds him that he's basically under control of Viper's poison. Your weakness has saved you. Go. Live. Wolverine. Always the big hero saving my life. He ain't any different from me. Never has been. He just want to kill me himself one of these days. Ain't that right, Logan? You heard the lady. Go. Viper. Gone. She slipped away as soon as I appeared. Yeah, if she's anything, she's a survivor. Damn it. She was going to... Damn it. Why are you here, Yuriko? Yeah, I don't think she was going to put out Wolverine. I am here for you, Logan. You too? Can't say I'm surprised. Guess I'm valuable. Well, you win. Don't have much gas left in the tank for another fight. You misunderstand. The contract you refer to, you are not. It's only Quarry. The hell are you talking about? I am named as well, and others. Anyone like us. I would have thought Creed too, except Viper apparently was able to keep him for herself off the list. They're hunting us, Logan. Viper said something about a client. Some sort of plan. Do you know? No, not yet. I know only this. I came here from Japan. I learned of the contact, of the list, from another hunter. Very deadly. I barely escaped with my life. Who? Ogun. Lord Ogun? Yes, that is why I tracked you here, to Madripoor. I thought we might put aside our differences, work together to discover the truth and defeat our enemy. This is very bad. I hesitate to say this, but I need your strength, Logan. Why does your eye not heal? And why did you not use your claws in the fight with Creed? What is the matter with you, Logan? Ah, I see. You are defective. You cannot help me. But perhaps I may exchange your life for mine. There is honor in that, is there not, Logan-san? You die so another may live. Oh, come on. You know, I really wouldn't. And Kitty Pryde appears out of nowhere and I guess faces her hand right through Lady Deathstrike's chest. Next issue, Japan. So now what do I think of the comic book? It was a pretty good comic book. It was just a pretty good story. It's pretty cool. It's kind of short to the point, I gotta say. And yes, like the last issue, the last couple of pages were more sketches and artwork, interviews, you know, stuff like that. But it wasn't as bad as the last issue where literally half the comic book was the sketches and stuff. This one, the story itself is actually a little bit past the halfway mark, and then we got sketches. But I gotta say, guys, I mean, save that stuff for the paperbacks, you know, for the trades, for the graphic novels. Save it for that stuff, okay? You see this epic comic book, it's like, oh wow, dude, Death of Wolverine, the cover special, like the eyes kind of have like that 3D effect or whatever, and it's thicker than a normal comic book. I mean, it's gotta be epic, and no, you got extra sketches and junk. The story in itself is not that long. And dude, come on, it's like $4.99. You know, don't charge us an extra $1 or $2 for sketches and stuff. We don't care. You know, just stick to the story. That's what we really care about. And yeah, one of the things in the back is that thing I mentioned earlier about Access and advertising for Access. So I'll show a close-up of that right there too. But as for the story itself, it's pretty cool. Instead of Wolverine just waiting around, waiting for the bad guys to come to him or whatever, he just goes undercover. He just goes straight out, right to the lion's den, so to speak, right to Viper, right up to her face and everything. And we have a decent fight with the Mortal Kombat ninjas. You see Wolverine fighting there. And then we got Sabretooth jumping into play. We got Lady Deathstrike there, and we got Kitty Pryde. And I gotta say, that's pretty good. You see examples of Wolverine, I guess, playing it safe, being more careful. I would say because since Kitty Pryde appeared there, Wolverine didn't really act all like Kitty Pryde, what the hell you doing here? He was kind of smug, like, hey Kitty, like that was kind of part of the plan. So he knows a bit more now. He knows better than to just jump in blindly by himself, taking on all the odds by himself because he's more vulnerable. So if he did have Kitty Pryde as part of the plan, kind of hiding out someplace, I guess, to jump in case it gets too intense or something. That's pretty smart of him. That's pretty smart. He's being more careful now. But dude, one thing I gotta mention is like they slashed the hell out of his eye and everything, and you know that's not. I mean, it's not gonna heal. It's not gonna grow back. So Wolverine is basically blind in one eye now. And let's see what happens. We still got 2 more issues to go. We got all these familiar faces popping up, like Sabretooth and Deathstrike and all that. So let's see what other familiar Wolverine friends and enemies are going to appear in these next 2 chapters. Let's see what Viper or what her clients, let's see what the big end game is in this story. So yeah, this is pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. I love it. Artwork's awesome. It's good to see the characters, the fighting, you know, it's all pretty good. There's nothing's really boring or whatever. It's pretty good. This is my only complaint is that just leave out all the extra sketches and crap, or at least don't charge us an extra $1 or $2 for the extra sketches and stuff. But you know, I guess that's how comic books are nowadays. But anyways, guys, this is Mark Rodriguez here for VGM Presents Comics with Mark. I'll see you at the comic book store.